Willie D Live.
What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you're representing. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. We're getting right into it, fam. We're going right into it. It is the third day of the Diddy trial, the second day of Cassie's testimony. And once again, this testimony proves to be epic. Cassie says there was a painful physical side effect from all the freak-offs Diddy had her doing with male escorts. And hey, man, this is bad, fam. I'm talking about this is something that you just don't want to ever, if you don't want to engage in something like this, but if you do, this is something you never, ever, ever, ever want to come to light. We're going to get right into the testimony. The judge, right after it's all rise, they got right into it. You had the district attorney, Johnson, approaching the witness, and the judge allowed him to. And the AUSA, the assistant U.S. attorney, said, Miss Ventura, I just handed you 2 drives. What is on them? GX8. Messages and photos from my devices. Now, fam, remember, I'm going to be giving you guys blow-by-blow accounts, not just an overview of what happened, but I'm going to give you the ticker tape on this. I'm talking about, I'm going to give you the transcript of this case. Blow-by-blow, statement by statement, rejection, objection, sustained, everything that comes with the trial, anything that's said in the trial, even done while in the course of the trial, I'm going to present it to you right now. And I'll be doing that for the duration of the trial. But let's get back to Cassie's day 2 testimony. Prosecution. Yesterday, you testified about Sean going armed to look for Suge Knight. Cassie. Sean took guns with him. Prosecutor. He told you to ask the escorts if they were cops? I would begin by saying I was not a cop. Sean told you to do that? Yes. What happened when you fought back? I did that more earlier in the relationship. It would make him more violent, want to push me harder. The defense objects. Speculation. The judge overrules. The prosecution continues. How would Sean react if you fought back? Anger. I'm going to show you the LA Intercontinental hallway again. Play from 143 to 146. Prosecution. Who enters? Sean. What's in his hand? He doesn't appear to have anything. Play 159. Now, anything in his hand? My phone. How did he get it? Well, he took all my stuff. Where does he end up? Sitting in a chair in front of the window. What are you doing? I'm walking away from him. Now, who's in the video? Me and security. And this one, play from 531. Where did you go from the hotel? To my house. I took an Uber. Now let's turn to text messages. Can you read page 4? Please call. I'm surrounded. Who sent that? From Sean. He was running around in a towel. I told him to put the robe on. Who sent these green messages? I did. I wrote to Sean. Jules left. As long as you're quiet, you can stay. Peace. Who was Jules? Escort. Is this Jules? Photo shown with a big smile. Yes. B606 and 607 side by side. Cassie in big sunglasses. Cassie, that's me. A selfie of me with a fat lip. Prosecution. When did you take it? In the Uber with one of my phones. What did you write here? I said, please stay away from me. And what does that say? He says, I'm getting arrested. Was he? I don't think so. What did you write back? Plugging my phone in and going to bed. Who was at your home when you got there? Carrie Morgan. She was upset when she saw me. She called the police. Did you speak with them? Yes, but I did say so, who I was talking about, and they left. I didn't say who I was talking about, and they left. Why? I wasn't ready. Did Sean try to come to your apartment? Yes, he was banging. That was pretty normal for him, but this is a pretty private building. Did you hear from Miss Corin that day? Yes. And I went to see D-Rock and his wife to try to feel safe. In this photo, what are you wearing? A gown and sunglasses. I had a black eye. What if any other bruises was visible? I had several bruises on my leg, but I changed clothes. What's this? Me and Sean at the after party. I'm going to show you escorts. Do you know the name of this person? And family, this is where it gets really, really wild. And you say to yourself, how in the hell does a woman allow a man to put her through something like that? And how in the hell does a man bring himself to put a woman through something like that? I wouldn't even do that to a woman I didn't love or claim to love. So let's get back to these escorts. Do you know the name of this person? No. In what cities did you use him? New York. Who's this? Islander. He was on Latin Men. We used him in LA and maybe Vegas. Who's this? 2A-16. We called him Tommy. Who is this? I know him as Greg, an escort in Miami. Who's this? Jonathan. We saw him in Miami. Who's this? Shows a picture of a red baseball cap backwards. A person wearing a red baseball cap backwards. I don't know. He looks familiar from the Freakoffs. What did you write here? This is all we do. I'm just getting back on track. I'm sure you can call Kim or something. What did you mean by this is all we do? Freakoffs. Did you try to avoid anything in the Freakoffs? I tried to avoid kissing. It seems too intimate. But Sean told me to do it, to kiss the escorts. What did Sean ask you to do on your 29th birthday? A freak-off. He had me pulled out the blind dragon for the freak-off, some security. What about blackmail? He wanted me to fear. Defense, objection, judge overruled. Prosecution. When would Sean mention the freak-off videos to hurt me? One time, I was dating someone else and he threatened to release the freak-off videos. I'd have to answer to my mother. It's horrible and disgusting. No one should do that to anyone. What did Sean say the impact would be? Shame. Let me show you a chat. Who's on it? Me and Sean, July 22nd, 2013. Read your message. I wrote, please delete the videos off your phone. Too many people have access to your devices, he said. No iCloud. All good. Ambient kicking in. Sidebar. Judge agrees. At 11:10 a.m. Eastern Time, the judge took a break. Getting back to the testimony. Okay, here we go. The prosecution asked Cassie, what did you say here? I'd been told there was a sexually explicit video out there about me. I reached out to Sean. Then what? We were driving back to NYC from Atlantic City to talk to DJ Who Kid. Did that happen? At a restaurant. What was security's role? To intimidate. They were lining the room. Who was there? Uncle Polly, James Cruz. How would you recover from a freak-off? I'd take opiates. I wanted to feel numb. We'd get messages, a massages, IV fluids. The chef would cook us something. How often did you take opiates after freak-offs? Often. I got a urinary tract infection. Often I got urinary tract infections. Were the UTIs painful? Very. Antibacterials didn't work anymore. Good Lord. I got to stop that to gather myself, fam. The antibacterials didn't work anymore on the UTIs. She was getting them so frequently that her body became immune to the antibacterial medicine that she was taking. Good Lord. Were the UTIs painful? Very. Antibacterials didn't work anymore. How did it feel during freak-offs? Burning. I would not advise it. Let's read this out loud. Cassie, I have all these sores on my tongue. I have another UTI. What sores? Friction in my mouth. From what? Oral sex. You said another UTI, then sad face emoji. I was open with him about them. So you feel sick? Why are you sorry? I took the blame for things. Which escort would go to the sex clubs with you and Sean? Jules. The escort from the Intercontinental in LA? Yes. Did you want to have sex with Jules ever? No. But I knew him. What did you do it? Why did you do it? Sean. Who was present when Sean put hands on you at Freakoff's? Sometimes the escorts were there too. In the same room? Yes, Jules. And in the suite? Yes. Were they aware? Objection. Overruled. Yes. The escorts would ask me if I was okay afterwards. In what cities did he put his hands on you? New York, LA, Miami? How frequently? Too frequently. What's the Abbey? A gay club in LA. I went there with my friend. Where were you going? To a music festival in Canada run by Drake. Sean came by my home and tried to attack me. I was thrown into the bed frame. What's this? A photo of my eye afterwards. Who took you to the doctor? D-Rock. Did you send this photo to Sean? Yes. And I wrote, so you can remember. I wanted him to be sorry about it at least. In this photo, where were you? In the green room in Toronto. I put my hair over my eye. Then we went to the Hamptons. Sean wanted to have a freak-off in the Hamptons. We got a hotel and an escort. Which one? Dave. I took GHB. I went into a G-hole and blacked out. I woke up nude in the shower. Dave and Sean were freaking out. I bugged out. It wasn't pretty. Family. The woman said she went into a glory hole. She went into a glory hole and passed out. Man. No, man. You don't do no woman you love like that. You don't even do a woman you hate like that. Wow. Wow. Even if she wanted to do it to herself, you get from around her, right? See, I'm the type of person, I can't watch a person self-destruct. I can't watch anybody self-destruct that I care about. And there had to be some kind of feelings, however twisted, because they were together for 10 years and they were very public. I couldn't do it. Continuing Cassie's testimony. Then what? I spoke to a friend of Sean's, and then we had a freak-off. They having freak-offs like they going to dinner. She's saying every week. This seemed like every day. What's this? My eyebrow healed up a little bit a week later. I have a permanent scar on my eyebrow. What's this? Me at the Cannes Festival. What happened at Cannes? Sean accused me of taking drugs from his boat. He threw me off, but my passport was still on the boat. And you were on the red carpet that same night? Yes. Did you attend the movie? Yes. How did you get back to New York? On a commercial flight. I traded my seat to get away, but he traded to get next to me. What did he show you? Freakoff videos. He played them for me on one of his laptops. He said he'd released them. How did you feel? Trapped. When you landed in New York, what did you do? We went to a dinner. Then he wanted to have a freak off. So we had a freak off. Why'd you do it? To make him not threaten me. Let's read these from June 13th, 2013. And had Sean been violent with you before this? Yes. Had you told him before you didn't want to do freak offs? Yes. You said you needed GHB? Yes. And that 2 escorts not available. I wrote, only Paul available, or Jake, the white guy, but he can't do it until 11. The other guy can do it earlier. It's just one more person knowing our secret. What did you mean, the freak offs? What is SLS? A hotel in Hollywood. Let's stop right there. So these guys were doing freak offs with them so much that they were inconvenienced at times by the demands of the freak offs. You got guys who are not available, even though they clocking thousands of dollars with A-list celebrities. Sometimes they're just not available. And others who say, look, man, I can't get there, I can't get there to knock your wife down. I can't get there to knock your girl down, man, until 11, man. I just can't say, man, the best I can do is 11, bro. I'm trying to get over that, bro. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there. Best I can do is 11 o'clock. It was almost like, the way I'm reading it, it's almost like it was a burden to the escorts. The demand was so great, it's almost like it was a burden. Let's continue with Cassie's testimony. Cassie wrote, only Paul available, or Jake, the white guy, but he can't do it until 11. The other guy can do it earlier. It's just one more person knowing our secret. Prosecutor, when would you take Valium? Before a freak off? When I had anxiety. Sean's driver was bringing me the Valium. It was Raheem, I think. The judge, jurors, you can take a lunch break now. So we come back, and this brings me to Cassie's husband. Cassie's husband, it has been said, has been staring Diddy down. They've locked eyes on more than one occasion. So the thing is, I get it under normal circumstances. That makes sense, that somebody harmed your wife before you got with her. You're going to have a grudge about that. I get that. That makes sense. What don't make sense to me is that don't apply to this guy. This guy knew who Cassie was. This guy knew about those freak offs. And he knew how Cassie got down. But he still married her. And he still had children with her. You cannot tell me that this guy is some type of hero. I think he caught Cassie at a vulnerable time. He caught her while she was weak, And she needed anybody who could get between her and Diddy to serve as a buffer to mitigate some of the pain and suffering and the black eyes that were coming her way. And this guy was it. He was there to fill the void. He was the shoulder to cry on. He got with Cassie despite knowing what was going on with her and Diddy. He knew before he committed to Cassie that Cassie was being abused by Diddy. So why not handle Diddy on the spot? Why wait till Diddy gets in a courtroom and then start all this posturing like you body, you know, you a tough guy. I mean, I don't respect that, fam. I don't respect that. Like, you know, if you really that dude, get at the dude when y'all on the same playing field. You know, when the playing field is level, get at him when you're in the free world, when ain't nothing separating you and the guy but opportunity. That's it. Opportunity and space. That's the only thing separating y'all. Go ahead and get at him then. I would have respected it more. He's trying to act tough. He putting on a show. Right now, he's putting on a show. And part of that putting on a show is because he's in his feelings. He putting on a show because he feel like he has to. Like, damn, man, this dude did all this to your woman, and you just sitting there all stoic. You just sitting there and you ain't attacking him. You ain't doing nothing. So he got to act like he menacing, like he would rip Diddy apart if he could have him in the same room. And I'm not so sure that if him and Diddy was in the same room, even with his athletic background, his fitness background, I'm not so sure if they were in the same room that he could handle Diddy. Because from what I understand, Diddy had hands or got hands. I heard Diddy got hands. Diddy ain't scared to fight. Men. I heard he's not afraid to fight men. Moving on. These urinary tract infections. Family, I'm going to tell you straight up. That wouldn't have been worth that 25 million, 30 million, whatever that was she got. See, that wouldn't have been enough for me to put that type of private information out there. I can't even look at her anymore without thinking about all of the penis that penetrated her mouth. I can't even look at her without thinking about she got a tract infection right now on her tongue. She got sores on her tongue. I can't even look at her and not think about that right now. Just like when it came to Kim Kardashian, I cannot look at Kim Kardashian and not think about how Ray J was busting her mouth open with his meat. I can't even look at her. See, this is what they mean, fam, when they say money ain't everything. You got money and you got your integrity. I'm going with integrity over money. I'm going with integrity, man. Because money can, on top of all of this stuff, man, money is it's just an object, you know, and really, depending on how you spend it's not even an object. You got digital currency. When you use when you use a credit card, it's just digital currency. You can't even hold it in your hand. You can't even really hold it. If you got $1 million on your credit card, it ain't like you can hold the $1 million and the $1 million is going to give you superpowers, like it's going to heal you, like save your life, bring somebody back from the dead. Most people get money, and understand this too. Most people that get money end up back broke again. So now you broke again, and you ain't got no respect. You broke and you ain't got no respect. But you can have money and still have no respect. Now I'm sure because of how Cassie looked, she'll never have a problem pulling a man, at least not for the next 10, maybe 15 years or so. She probably still can just pull all kinds of dudes left and right from all industries. But at some point, how do you look in the mirror knowing what you did and be okay with that? See, you know the whole saying, you can fool some of the people some of the times, but you can't fool yourself none of the times. You can't fool yourself. You can't fool yourself. So I'm taking integrity over the money. Because once you start putting money before your integrity, you'll do anything. And I mean anything. That's why you got to be really careful about being around people who talk about doing anything for money. A good test is that old test where you say, man, would you do this for $1 million? Nah, I wouldn't do it. What about 5 million? Would you do it? Nah, I wouldn't do that. Nah. What if somebody gave you $20 million? Then they start thinking, they start coming down. Like, hold on. They start considering it. And next thing you know, you give a number, an offer they can't refuse. What if they gave you $100 million, man? You wouldn't do it. They start laughing. That's how you know. That's how you know somebody can be bought. That's how you know you got people that do anything for money. Because it come down to just hitting that sweet spot, hitting a number, giving them a price that they gonna feel like it's worth selling their soul for. Those same people will kill their family members, or kill their mama, kill their children for money. They'll do it. Jazzy is in the building. What's up, Miss Jazzy? Make me want to play the Welcome Back Carter theme. I ain't seen you in a few days. Welcome back. Yeah. What's up, CC? China in the house. Stephen M. LLC say, y'all don't know what y'all are doing until you put in that situation. What if you ain't gonna, what if you don't put yourself in that situation? Then you ain't got to worry about it. You ain't got to think about it. I think anytime a person put themselves in a situation, they got to take some responsibility. Now, if Diddy had kidnapped her, put a gun to her head, and said, do this, put her in some chains, and yeah, okay, I got it. Hey, that's all on him. But if you walk right toward the fire and you stick your hand in that pot in that fire and get burned, that's on you. I'm sure she was warned about Diddy. Everybody's been warned about Diddy. I've been hearing warnings about Diddy since Diddy came into the industry. She walked toward the fire anyway. She got to take some responsibility for that. It takes two to tango. So, and when it comes to a RICO, it takes even more than that. So where are the other suspects? Where are the other defendants? Because Diddy should not be on trial by himself. If he's on trial for RICO acts, he should not be on trial by himself. Cassie, by her own admission, said that she participated in the Freakoffs. She paid escorts. She recruited escorts. That ain't criminal. If it's criminal for Diddy, it's got to be criminal for Cassie. Oh, but I got it. Diddy is the black man with all the money. He's the brother with the money. So Diddy is the only one that is going to be punished because Diddy represents public enemy number one in the United States, and that is a black male. It ain't Al-Qaeda. It ain't domestic terrorist. It ain't immigrants. It's the black man. That's right. I said it. And that is the only reason why he's on trial for this stuff. If you think he's on trial because this country cares about protecting victims of sexual assault, you got to be out of your rabbit mind. 95% of rape kits in the United States go untested in evidence rooms. 95% of rape kits in evidence rooms all throughout the United States and police evidence rooms go untested. What does that tell you? So this is about something else, man. And I'm not going to be silent so someone else who has a grudge or a bone to pick with Diddy can be comfortable. I'm going to call a strike and a ball a ball. If Diddy is on trial for violating the RICO Act, he should have some co-conspirators on trial also. Where are the co-conspirators? And I'm not saying Diddy is an angel. None of us are angels. I'm not saying Diddy is a bad guy or even a good guy. I'm not saying none of that. I'm saying show me some consistency, man. Show me some evidence. I need some evidence. Because just listening to Cassie, a woman who sued him for $30 million and got millions of dollars out of him, a woman who stepped out on him with his trainer, a woman who enjoyed the trappings of success, private jets, attending the biggest events in the world, buying all of the nicest clothes and purses and shoes and having all the access that Diddy's money afforded her. Yes, I do believe he put hands on her. I do believe that. I saw it on video myself, and he should be dealt with for that. But that's not what he's on trial for. We know he has a propensity to be violent. We know that. But they have not proven that he has violated the Mann Act. They have not proven that at least to this point, they have not provided one shred of evidence against him. Not one shred of evidence. The only thing that they've been able to prove so far is that Diddy is a violent freak. Super freak. He is a super freak. Having another man's bust rubbed on your bust? That's wild. That is wild. That's my time, fam. I will be back later today to wrap up the Diddy case. I'm going live, and I will have more testimony from inside of the courtroom. Not just a blurb, not just a headline, not just one quote or two quotes. I will have verbatim what Cassie was asked and what she said. Also, their cross-examination is supposed to start today. So that's going to be very interesting once the defense get a chance to get at Cassie and to cross-examine her. That is going to be very interesting, and I'll bring that to you later today also. So until then, fam, y'all keep it real. Enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. No more talk.